won't shut up long enough for me to do it. You're a sweetheart, aren't you? This is Tootie Clark. Oh, the door's not locked, I don't think.
All right, Kyle.
About that is he may decide he wants to do a little dropping.
I've had a parrot before.
Oh, have you?
There,
Yeah.
Tootie.
We had a Quaker parakeet. He
Does that
was
have
so
to-
loud.
It's pretty good in low light. That's fine.
Come on, kitty.
Best thing about it is
Dude, he won't come to you. I know he won't.
y'all can watch
He's
this when
really
as I film you.
You're a booger. Well, did you have fun out there with throwing things around?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The things keep on getting stuck so high. One for the dance, I for the one over there. Who do you think's whistling?
He talks about as clear as Michelle did when she was her age.
Yep.
And she does still talk really, really clear. That's this little...
But when I come down south, I can pick up a southern accent pretty quick.
Is that right?
Right quick.
Right quick.
He won't let you hold him. I'm sorry.
Well, I've been
He
here
just
40
won't do
years.
it. He just...
Speak any French?
Just the bad
Who
word.
gives us that?
And my sister-in-law and I decided to go down to the beach. And she loved to dance. So one night after we'd been on the beach and everything, we dressed all up. And that was in those days when you dressed up. And we were going to the beach, dance on the boardwalk. And we were walking on down the boardwalk, and these couple sailors came up. And one of them was Wallace. Well, he was acting so silly, I thought he's bound to be drinking. And carried on all this crazy stuff. And of course they asked where we were going. And we were going dancing. Well, can we go? So we said, oh yeah. So that was the first time, and it was love at first sight.
I hadn't been drinking though.
I hadn't been drinking. So then he wanted to come up to see me. He says, you live in a nice house? And I said, yeah, it's a pretty nice house, I think.
Gas heat,
And,
oil heat, and electricity and everything.
Well, I'm coming over.
and so then when I brought him home,
I was kidding.
my brother met him. And he says, Helen, where did you find him? He's not right.
Who said this?
My brother, Howard.
Howard said this?
Mm.
Howard was Butch, wasn't he? His nickname?
No, his son is named Butch.
I thought he was.
They call him Mike.
Caesar could understand me good. Howard was.
Howard always liked him, but he just thought he was crazy. And,
I see a lot of boys.
you see a lot of who's what?
Buddies.
Oh, boydies. Oh, okay.
Oh, bird.
Birds.
Hey, there's
What?
apples and bananas and peaches and stuff like that if everybody wants any.
You know, we bring them to a restaurant. They eat about a third of their grilled cheese sandwich and don't touch their French fries. And
That's the
they're
way
hungry in half an hour.
I don't know how Michelle stays alive. She doesn't eat. But she chocolate chip cookies?
Mhm.
Oh, boy. And Coke? Linda's mother-in-law, she got rid of it, so she gave it to me.
Do you have any family heirlooms?
I don't know. And I got this at the Salvation Army.
She likes blue.
That's the Salvation Army. I got this at a yard sale. And got this at a yard sale just recently.
Wow.
Got this from Wallace's mom. That came from a Salvation Army. Do you believe that? I think it's so pretty.
Mm.
And
Oh, I want this painting though. No, that's really great.
See?
and I got this and the chairs from a estate sale. That thing from the Salvation
No,
Army.
You might, I don't know, is that,
Do what?
was it better without it?
It's a little light, isn't it?
I bought that
Turn it off.
when I was working. I just spent my money on that. I love that.
Now, how often do you use your dining room? Probably never.
Once
Once a blue moon?
2 months, 2 years or
Yeah, that's
something.
what we do.
We've
And
used
that's
it
my,
once.
my humbles.
Yes, I see.
Got those from California, most of them. I guess.
Very
And
nice.
Some of these pictures, I've taken them down from various places and haven't decided where I'm gonna put them.
This one's on loan from the Louvre.
And I buy, right. I buy this.
That's a picture I took in Germany when I was over there.
How did you do
Just
that?
really.
Where the fish island. It's kind of dark over in this corner.
Well, it's dusty over there. You weren't supposed to turn that light on.
That's what the light would turn off.
But it's top of a church, a real old city. I loved it.
Oh, yeah.
Taking it, yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So do you,
And that's out
both
in
you play, or
Germany,
do you play?
No, well, it's,
Neither one of you plays?
I used to play the
Helen plays
piano,
a little bit.
and then I decided this one girl at work
Do you play?
liked to play the organ,
I
so
wish.
she decided I wanted an organ, so we had to get one. And I haven't touched it for a year.
I just played a solo in church.
She does all
Oh,
right.
really?
It was the best rendition of Amazing Grace I ever heard.
Shut up.
It wasn't
You're
Amazing
such-
Grace.
Right.
You're so mean. You're so mean.
And this is the baby room, and also where I keep all my crafting stuff. I got my paints in here,
Oh my.
and in here. I got those at thrift shops and stuff, you know. And,
Do you like blue? Is blue your favorite color?
Mhm.
Is it?
definitely.
Mine too.
Hers too. She was drooling over your kitchen. She likes a blue
Yes.
kitchen.
Oh, Linda had painted her, look at this. I got
Oh,
carried
there's your-
away. But Linda painted her kitchen, had her cabinets refaced and white, of course. And then she had all this cobalt blue.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with nothing to do, I had to do the same thing. So we go, and Michelle goes shopping with us. Here, Mama, here's some cobalt blue. And we're all buying cobalt blue. But we have more fun than people.
She knows all about it.
Yeah, she even
My
paints
grandma
that.
had a collection of Mikado china.
She did that.
They
Yeah.
have a very dark cobalt blue
Oh, really?
china. And, Deb likes that. We
I
have
don't
some
have a nervous
on our
energy.
kitchen wall.
I
She
know.
Oh,
likes
do you
in
have
our-
it
in
there?
our-
Oh, God.
It's really beautiful.
I can imagine.
We was at
And I bought his.
well, we can get separate rooms.
We will, dear. We will.
It all
Don't worry.
started. It all started when I got puny, you know,
When she
after
got
my
sick.
heart,
Yeah.
and I couldn't sleep right. So I
She
got
was up all
these
night.
pieces
Yeah.
from yard sales and stuff.
Looks like my
And,
own tooties.
Mm-hmm.
Linda, and that's me when I met him.
Oh my gosh.
He's still a pretty boy too. I want you to know that. Me.
Well, sure. Oh, most definitely. Most definitely.
This is, which one is you, Wallace? I can't see because the lampshade.
Oh, that
And every time I touch it, it turns off.
was down in Louisiana. That's when I was.
Which one's you?
Look on the
Right
right.
there. That's
Mhm.
Wallace.
Yeah.
And they were my stepbrother and sister. And that was back in '02.
And this is you
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
farm.
You see, no shoes, pants leg all rolled up. Man, you live in the bayous. You
Oh yeah.
you survived
Beautiful
what you
Wallace.
did down there.
Is this Michelle?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
She is so pretty.
that's my mother.
She looked like
That's
good.
the lady staying with my mother.
Living.
Caregiver. Living.
Just one little picture of Helen,
Who's Catherine Motley?
my sister.
No, I mean this other Catherine Motley. That's not your sister.
I
Okay,
don't know
so
where she.
is this your daughter?
She dances, and she's gonna be on a cruise ship for 6 months. So she's very talented.
Yeah.
Sings and dances.
Things in New York and places. Yeah, it is. And that looked like a Plymouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
He bought you a car and never drove one himself.
Right.
That's so Helen could take him around.
51.
I've got another
51
girlfriend.
51
a
plates on the
girlfriend
car.
That never learned how to drive. Sister-in-law. This is Howard's wife.
So who is it all here then? That's Howard's wife?
Howard's wife, Clara, and their little boy, Butch.
And that's
And
you.
this is just a little neighbor of theirs.
So what was
And
this
that's
about?
me. We were down at the river somewhere,
What year, you think?
at her daddy's river place.
In the 50s?
I wasn't but
14.
12 or 14. I was a little.
100 pictures of Elvis when he was here. He was here 2 different times.
Sir.
Oh,
That's Elvis.
Couldn't take care of all these birds. I gave him the white one because he wouldn't go to Wallace. So the other day, he came over with his prospective bride
Oh
and
my God.
his 2 birds. And we had 3 birds walking all around here and whistling and singing and carrying on. Wallace is supposed to take his wedding pictures.
Do you have a pig? Oh, that's mine.
What do you want?
We'll get it straightened out later, I said. Stop.
No, it's not.
They arguing over the toys. I knew this was going to happen. I started it. It's all my fault.
Get off.
I think you did.
Y'all might can trade and switch around. And,
Well, that's the problem. He doesn't trade evenly, and she takes advantage of that fact.
so.
Will you come to
What are you
me?
doing?
Will you come to
Oh,
me?
he'll bite the living right out of you.
No?
I mean, to tell you, he'll draw blood. He's a one-person bird. Why are you that way, Tootie?
Can we try?
Mm-mm. I
No.
mean, when he bites,
Just that little bit would have hurt you a lot.
it hurts a lot. In fact, I've got these little things on my arm where the key on it now. And when the bird is on my hand and he sees those red places, he pecks at it and draws blood. So, let's see, where was the story going? Oh, I have that thing in my arm from when I had dialysis and they
Oh,
take the blood
yeah.
and all that fun stuff. And so that arm is real sensitive. If I hit it, it bruises. And this is really, really red, but I got makeup on it because so it wouldn't look so horrible. And I went shopping the other day, and I had a shopping bag, and I was filling it up, and I had hanging over my arm, so I think that's what caused that red place. But I'm buying Christmas presents. Blue, cobalt blue.
How you
and stuff,
doing?
you know.
Me.
They haven't had anything decent for a long time.
Wait a second, please.
And we go up there twice a week.
So fast and
I
grow out
know.
of things so quickly.
My goodness, you go up there. Listen, I went to a thrift shop. It's ARC, Association of Retarded whatever.
Hey.
And on Wednesdays, senior citizens get 50%
Look at my
off.
tonsils. No, look at my eye.
And I didn't know that because they had discontinued it from the one I had been going to. But anyhow,
Mom, look at me.
I went over there and I found
Oh.
a pair of shorts
Come on, look at
that
me.
Corette makes, and
Look
they
at
sell
me
for
there.
$42.
Mom.
And I saw this in the shop. It was
Daddy.
my size.
Look at my
I
eye.
think it
Hey.
was $2.99.
Hey, look at my eyes.
And I
Look at
went
my
up to
eyes.
the counter and she said that'll be $1.
Hey, look at my eyes.
$0.27.
Oh. Daddy, look at my eyes.
More cancers off my face. Like everybody does know that now.
A lot of who's what on your face?
Cancers.
Why? Really? You that sensitive?
Yeah.
Well, what do you fit with?
The dermatologist told me, said, you didn't get these last week or last year.
Nah.
You got these when you was a kid.
Well, I'll be darned.
And they keep taking them off.
All right, I'm getting old, Kenneth.
Uh,
How do you fit in the Motley family?
Cecil and I were first cousins.
Okay.
And mother was sister.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm sorry. His dad and my mother were brother and sister.
So Beverly and
What was your mother's name?
Beulah.
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 Have I got that on the list?
Beulah.
B-E-U-L-H.
Beulh.
One.
I don't have that one on there?
Oh, I don't know where to look exactly.
Well, that was Minnesota, wasn't it?
Hi, look.
No, that was
No,
Bessie.
No.
No.
That was
was
Bessie.
Bessie.
Get your hand over there, please.
Bessie. Well, Beulah. But that's the one lived with us for a while, wasn't it?
No, that
Or
was
was that Lucy? That one Lucy.
Bessie lived in Minnesota and Minnie lived in Montana.
Montana.
And Lucy moved to Montana.
Well, let's see.
I'm gonna have to
Beulah,
write
Oh,
all this
and
down
hey,
in sentences.
It's
so
all
everybody-
confusing, right?
Beulah was the one that
Well, you
lived
better
in
write
that
it down
block
somewhere.
from us for a while.
No,
So-
that was Lucy.
so if you're
Beulah
my-
lived in Churchill.
If you're my father's first cousin, how are we related exactly?
I don't know, but it'd be second cousin.
Second
It wouldn't be
cousin or first
thirds.
cousin, first remove? We
Second
need
or
to.
third, I don't know. Had to pass it first, I don't know.
We'll have to.
Reason I wear any glasses, I got a new eye.
You gotta do who?
A new eye.
How you do that?
They give me a transplant.
Really? Your cornea?
No, I got the lens.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's a really smart aleck operation, isn't
I
it?
don't need any glasses.
Oh, I wanna do that.
Helen won't
Did
do
it
anything.
hurt?
She's
Did
got,
it hurt?
No, I don't hurt.
Well, I mean, I have to wear my glasses.
What difference does hurt?
He
No, I-
was in World War II,
Mm-hmm.
over in Battle of the Bulge.
Oh, yeah.
And he nearly froze to death in the snow and everything. And we sat here and talked 2 or 3 or 4 hours one day
here's
about
my
his
latest paper.
escapades over there in,
Mhm.
in the
Latest
army.
paper.
And it was rough.
Hmm.
And he was missing in action, and his mother got
Telegram.
a telegram saying that he was missing in action the same day that they found him, and he was at a hospital.
Mhm.
And he called and said, "This is your son."
Ah.
Do you know that was enough to kill her?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All at the same time.
I would think so.
She'd been to the telegraph office because they called to come get a telegram from the water department.
Oh. No.
And that was in the morning. At 5 o'clock, I called her. She said, "Where are you at?"
Yeah, really?
Yeah, what?
Where are you calling from? Down here or up there?
The telegram, all the telegram said was that, you know, so and so is missing in action. More further information will follow, and that's all it said.
Yeah,
Hey,
to get a-
Kyle.
Get a telegram during the war was not a good thing.
Kyle, you want to watch cartoons, darling? I've got a television in
I'll
the
fix it.
kitchen.
I'll turn it on for you. You stay here and help.
All right, move that camera.
Cecil and I were only one day apart in age.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah?
really?
I was born the 10th of June. He's born the 11th.
And y'all
That's
live on
21.
the same
We
block.
live,
21?
we live in houses side by side.
Ah. So they live right next door. The brother and sister live right next
and
door.
y'all had an outdoors toilet, didn't you?
So what was okay, so Mrs. J.S. Seal is your mom? Is that
Beulah Seal.
I had Mrs. J.S. Seal, is that
And his name,
her name
her
is Beulah?
husband's name was Junius,
How do you spell
and her name is, it's in
Okay.
there, Junius,
but
right?
Beulah is B
Eulah.
J.S. would have been my father.
Who?
His name was my father.
What's your father's name?
His name was Junius
Junius.
Smith.
Smith.
Junius S. Seal.
Junius Smith Seal.
Junius?
J-U-N-I-U-S.
Now that is a weird name, isn't it?
Where did that name come from?
I don't know. You don't hear me now.
No.
But now, what did y'all cook with at that house?
We
Did you
had,
have a stove you put wood in?
No, we had a gas stove.
Well, how come y'all were so high class?
I guess y'all did too. We had the same kind of stove y'all did. What it was.
But you had an outdoor toilet. And what kind of heat did you have?
We had wood stove for heat.
Yeah. And I fell against one. Mama was giving me a bath in one of these metal tubs.
Why? Oh, why stove?
Yes. And I was just a
Galvanized.
little teeny, yes.
right in the middle of the
In the middle of the
kitchen?
dining room, I guess.
Mhm.
And I fell over it, like against it like
How do
this.
you remember all that kind of stuff? Why don't
Because
you-
it hurt.
why
Now, I
don't you
remember
some,
that.
Remember some good stuff.
And I remember I had chicken pox. And I was in this baby bed in the dining room. That's where we lived. This was in Highland Park. No. This was over there. In the West End.
That was on
And
Rosewood.
somebody from church or something, brought me this little booklet that it has little puzzles and little things that you poke out. I thought I had died and gone to heaven. Because like I say, for Christmas, all I got was oranges and apples and the table that Daddy made me
Yeah.
and a bench. He did make me a bench.
I think the cook would gas. I'm not sure.
Did you play much with the Motley family or the Motley kids? Did you live there?
Well, most of Cecil and I were at the same age, you know, and
Went to
Did
school
you ever
together?
play the baseball game with him? Oh, he didn't do that till he got older.
Well, we didn't have no place to play no baseball.
No, I mean it was on a cardboard.
Oh,
You didn't do that.
I don't know that.
I mean, that's when you were born, and when did
Yeah, but
radios
I know.
become popular?
Cecil bought the first television. It was round. The screen was about this big. And honey, I absolutely loved it. If it hadn't been for Cecil, I don't know what we would have. He bought all the records. We played Glenn Miller all the time, and
Oh, he loved his Glenn
Benny
Miller.
Goodman and all that stuff. And,
Love that.
All the Things You Are was his favorite song. And then I latched onto it and said it was mine.
Mhm.
But that was his favorite song in the whole world. And
But you know, when we lived on 27th Street, the road in front of the house was dirt. It's an old muddy dirt road, dirt street. But when it rained, that ditch on the side, we'd go down and play in the ditch and it wasn't but that deep in the ditch. And barefooted, you know, in summertime.
oh, I love it.
And after a while, your toes started cracking open.
Well, what are you doing running around loose? I thought you
I
was
carried my
police.
granddaughter home. She'd been over the house for a while, and I carried her home because they're going to take a trip to Roanoke in a few minutes. I was coming down and my wallet asked me for some flowers, and I had it on the back of the truck. I said, oh, go by and see if it's there, because I'll probably forget it. I always forget that.
You've got flares in your truck in case you need them.
Yes.
For breakdown.
Yeah, actually we do.
He's
Regular
what are you, motorist assistance?
I work for the state police,
Oh, yeah?
highway safety.
Well, let's hope we never see you.
Flares.
What you think,
I thought you said flowers.
You Yankees.
I'm like,
You
flowers?
Yankees.
Why do we have flowers in our car? What
You're a Yankee. You can't talk that way.
Flares.
If you're from Northern Virginia, you would have caught on right away.
You guys have forgiven us for the war, haven't you?
What war?
Forgive.
What's that thing say on the bumper?
But yeah, forgive hell or something like it.
Forget hell.
Or something like that.
Hey, when did you do your eye, baby?
I'm going to say 5 weeks.
Really?
Yeah. I'm proud of it.
It still looks kind of pinkish.
No,
What? How long did you have to stay overnight, or what happened?
You want to have this done, huh?
Going down the house lady said, you think you get up and go home? Took an hour and 10 minutes.
Is it sensitive? It feels funny.
Huh?
Does it feel funny?
No.
No. You're lying.
It waters just a little bit excessively, but I can see it real good. I'm proud of it because I didn't have any sight in my left eye at all.
Oh, I'm the
And I
dog.
didn't think.
Wow.
Well,
And they take your old lens out and put a new one in there.
You have a cataract, and they just replace the lens.
That's part, whatever clouds the lens up so you can't see anymore.
I swear.
And before they
these days,
do the
isn't
operation,
it? Down south.
they hook it to before they do the operation, they hook your eye to a computer. And the computer measures your eye inside like it would the focal point on a camera to tell which lens that you need to replace it to put your eye back like it was when you were born.
Oh,
Oh, wow. So, and
And
the
it-
other eye is that good?
Yeah, I had that done before.
Oh. Well, see,
So when that thing finishes, they put this number on the screen. And when he get to operating, he gets this number lens, and that's what he puts back in there.
that is marvelous, isn't it?
They cut the top of your eye open. But I think Cecil and I were probably the closest because we were close in age. Howard was a little bit younger, you know.
Oh yeah, Howard was, yeah.
And y'all hardly knew me because I was the
Right,
police
I didn't, you come on later in years, you know.
way
Yeah,
later.
10 years.
And my sister and Howard were same age too.
No, his sister's name Mildred.
Mildred. How many other brothers and sisters did you have?
I got one more brother, Robert.
Now I forgot about Robert. Where is he?
Robert G. Bobby Gordon.
Gordon. I
That's
haven't
your
seen him in a
brother.
long
Oh
time.
God, I'm so confused. So confused. I'm gonna look back.
My
my family's more mixed up than that.
It sounds like it was three or four
Yeah.
fathers or stepfathers. And
I got too many steps and halves and stuff like
Oh,
that
yeah.
involved in my family. I did know that my right brothers anyway. I knew who they were.
must have been kind of hectic around the house when you and my father were born one day apart. I could imagine.
Well, my sister and Howard were born 2 days apart.
Really?
Oh, jeez.
I don't have to plan that. You know what I mean? But that's
Oh,
where it
my
happened.
Wow, that was
They were double dating at some time along the line, I maybe.
I guess.
was Dr. Gilbert your doctor too?
Gilbert?
Yeah, Dr. Gilbert. I guess he delivered my father. That's what I heard. Do they have doctors back then? Or they have.
No, I don't think
Well, most of them, you got them in Charles City, then you where the Indians were.
I was born in Caroline County.
You
Oh,
were
yeah.
born in Carolina?
Yeah, born in Caroline.
You're almost a Yankee.
You think so?
Caroline County, that's the next county, 2 counties from here headed north.
You weren't born in Richmond, huh? So when did you move next to?
When I was 5 years old.
Throw that on there for the people who's gonna look at it sometime.
Well, I think he was born in Caroline.
That's a Yankee bit.
I got an audio.
That's what I say. I did
Yeah,
that for
yeah,
you.
yeah. Thank you. So how long did you live in that house next to the Motleys? What house was that? What street was that?
I guess
Highland Park, 4th Avenue is where.
I stayed there until I went to service
Stayed where? What street?
on 27th Street.
Oh, 27.
When I left over that street, I went to war.
Did you volunteer or you drafted for a?
No, I volunteered.
Volunteered for if you had known the bulge was in your card, you probably wouldn't have volunteered. Huh?
Everybody else at John's, I figured I was going to go take, you know.
Well, my dad picked the Navy, and didn't he volunteer for the kitchen service because he's such a picky eater? Isn't that what the story I heard?
I believe so, yeah. He was a picky eater.
Who was that?
Well,
Cecil.
he never ate fish,
Oh, no.
chicken,
He was-
eggs,
He's right. He was picky.
any kind of poultry.
But what kind of
Steak
cereal
and potatoes
was
is all he ever ate.
What was that cereal, those little squares?
Oh, shredded
Oh,
wheat.
right.
Shredded
puff
wheat.
wheat.
Shredded wheat.
Straight away.
That's what
And he ate some funny stuff called collard greens.
collard. Oh God, have you ever eaten
My
it?
mom would make that every so often. Stink the whole house up.
Oh, but it's so good.
My mom is Canadian. You know, she's way up north, and she never heard of half these things that
Is she still living?
Yeah, she's
And squash. You ever eat squash?
yeah, she'd make squash.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she's in a nursing home right now because she has some problems. But she's still kicking.
I guess the last time I saw Cecil was when they buried Howard.
Yeah, that's the last time he was down here. Well, that was 82, and he died in 86. So, wasn't too much after. Yeah, he guess he had a bad case of pneumonia walking pneumonia that winter. And I guess never really left him, I guess.
Oh, goodness.
Just,
So what was the cause of death? Heart or?
heart attack, one heart attack, that was it. No warning. Like you had a warning. You're lucky.
Oh yeah, I was just had indigestion.
Yeah.
And honey, they cut me wide open down here
Did they?
and opened me
Yeah.
up.
You gonna show us?
Yes, you can see the
Woohoo!
scar. Can you see the
Hey,
scar right
get
there?
your foot out of the way there.
They don't do that anymore.
See that scar?
Yeah.
You know what?
And see
They
the
don't
scar
cut you
on the
down there
legs
no
where they
more.
took the veins out?
Did you know
I
that?
heard
That's still
they-
from that surgery.
I
They're
heard
going
that.
to, they
Wow.
cut the,
They took them out
split
of here
the
and
rib
put
and
them
go
in
to the
here.
rib.
what I heard.
Six-way bypass.
6-way?
Yeah.
When did you have
I
this?
didn't go half-stepping.
My mom just had a double
And then they
when
took
she had hers.
some out here. I have lovely legs.
Did you know her medical history before you married her? Because she was a young thing when you married her.
You know what I
she
did
was young,
since
she
then?
told me she was a Cajun. And I didn't believe her. but
You know what
went
I
with her.
did since then? When they opened me up, I don't think they're putting them back together right because they put this little metal strip here. That's to hold my
Holds you
ribs.
together? Yeah.
Uh-huh. And then my boobs. I had right big boobs, and they hung down to here. And I used to throw them over my shoulder.
now they can't go to the airport.
And so what I did was I wanted to have them smaller gated.
Small.
And the insurance company turned it down. They said, no way. And I wrote them a real pitiful letter. And they okayed it. And when I went back to the doctor who was going to do it, he said, Miss Clark, I don't know what you did, what kind of letter you wrote to this guy. But he says, he's a real hard-nosed thing. And I can't imagine him okaying this. And so he says, I'm going to make you a B cup.
Ain't this true?
Yeah. That's the story of my life. These truths that come out like that, they usually are true.
Oh, and
We need to
You let them do this to
They ain't
you.
hardly
do a
there,
book
look.
with it on the Motleys and the Clarks, I guess.
Do what?
Should do a book on the Motleys and the Clarks.
But I'm
So
feeling fine.
how many brothers or sisters do you have?
I have a sister, Catherine. She's 36, right? She's a year younger than I am. My brother Robert died back in 83. 83. He was 17 when he died.
And what happened to him?
A bicycle accident.
Bicycle,
Bashed his
that's right.
head.
And hit a
It was
tree or
really something.
something?
That was really hard to believe.
And
Something
what?
like that.
Bicycle hit a tree.
Oh,
Riding a bicycle,
That
out
was-
of control and hit the tree.
That was really before people wore helmets too. That really wasn't a big thing back then. Wear helmets and
And I lived on a bicycle when I was a little creep.
yeah.
I got some good pictures of he and while he was there and your family and everything somewhere around here. But I think
When
I
I
sent some
found
to
this
your mom.
picture of us taking, we all went to the ball game when we were in Cleveland, and I had on a real tight sweater.
What was this?
When y'all was little creeps. And I had on a real tight sweater and I looked really good.
With your triple E cup.
D cup!
Ah.
hey, Cecil liked his baseball.
Oh, no question. He one of the last things I did though, I took him up to. I had to go to Detroit for a week to work, and I took him with me. And we stayed in the same hotel room, and I went to work every day, and he walked down to the Tiger Stadium every day. And that
No.
was his best time he had.
He would
No, it was.
he would get a kick at the Cleveland team.
Oh,
today.
it's a shame he missed that because I would have finagled season tickets for him somehow. 'Cause that's what he would do every day is go down there, take the bus down to the stadium. I'm sure.
He really enjoyed it.
Well, he'd sit there watching TV in the kitchen, watching TV and have watching one game, then listen to
know
another
it.
game
I know
on the
it.
radio at the same time.
Probably had a scorecard or something going
Yeah,
at the
oh
same
yeah.
time.
And then the three of us running around the house screaming, and no wonder my mom was on Valium, huh? My dad was no help.
Oh,
My mother always said she had 4 kids,
that's right.
and I think I've turned into my
Yes,
father. Yeah.
Yes.
It was really unbelievable. Cecil didn't get married until he was about 40 or 42, and then
39.
3.
In school.
Yeah.
They always thought he was my grandfather. He
Yeah,
came,
I never-
came to school
Well,
things.
That's like me. Old daddy. Old daddy and old mama.
Yeah. Well, you were so late. You were the last of the
Uh-huh.
clan.
And then when I went to school, I had this wonderful first nursery and first grade teacher. Absolutely loved her. She was just so wonderful. Then after I had my kids, which was 6 years after we'd married, and then Linda went to kindergarten, so that was like four years later. She had the same teacher that had taught me for kindergarten.
Oh my
gosh.
goodness.
And she was wonderful then, and it was just marvelous. Wonderful little teacher. The same school that I had gone to.
'Cause your daddy was almost 50 when you came around.
I reckon so.
Yeah.
Pretty up there, late 40s. Wow.
Yeah, his mother.
And Ellis
Her
is
mother's
21 years
43.
younger.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Where'd you get all that information from?
This is all from Helen
And listen,
and Howard Mercer.
Yeah.
I think they were all. I don't know. I'll ask Clara where he got Mercer
Mercer
from.
sounds like a doctor's name.
I know it, and so does Tyree. I believe they were doctors.
But you were Virginia. You were named after the
I
state.
was named after the ambassador's wife. Her name was Virginia. I don't know what her maiden name was, but it was Virginia Weddle.
Oh, the Argentinian ambassador.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
So I was named after her.
Huh. Now, how about Helen? Where did that come from?
Oh, heck.
And where did Cecil come from, for example? Where did Ellis come from? Where did all those names?
Where did Helen come
Well, with the,
Well, I kept up with mine. You know where Huey comes from?
That's right.
Huey.
Huey.
from? Helen. I don't know, Clara might know.
well, with an uncle named like Junius, for crying out loud.
You don't know where that name came from, do you? Where Junius came from?
That's a weird name.
I think it was some people named Juniors back in olden time, maybe. I've seen it in books,
Mm-hmm.
like politicians and all that stuff. His daddy was named after the president, Millard Fillmore.
So, which, the Millard or the Fillmore?
I'm not sure what it, Millard, I think that's the president's name. I forget his,
But what was his daddy's name? Millard?
Millard Fillmore was his daddy's name.
That was his whole name, Millard
Millard
Fillmore
Fillmore.
Seal.
Huh.
Excuse me.
Well, I tell everybody I was named after the president of the Confederacy.
I was thinking
Davis.
some time
Uh-huh.
ago that if I would like to do it, but it probably didn't have enough. Normally I would be to study the genealogy of my family.
Well, I looked at something on a computer the other day, and they wanted to sell you a coat of arms and all
Yeah,
that.
that-
I didn't want that. I wanted some info.
They send everything to me in the mail, but I don't think much of it.
No.
They're telling me my family's on that list, and how they know?
Yeah. You need to convert to Mormonism.
Because I've even,
You go to
Why
Utah.
I even went
Mormons are.
down to try to
into
trace
that.
where
They
my
know all that stuff.
grandfather came from.
Yeah.
And I had to be able to trace it back very far.
Which grandfather? The Seal
My
side or
father's father.
Millard.
I went, somebody told me he came down towards Rappahannock. And I went down to the Essex County some time ago, went in the post office. And the girl, is she having a seal down? She said, there's no seal getting the mail to the post office. She said, I can tell you what, you could probably go to the church cemeteries around here and look. And I did, and I didn't find any, but I went over down to
I tell you, what you
another one, King and Queen.
go in there and get on the computer there and go to the state of Virginia and look up and to Richmond and look up the name, and they'll start analyzing it, the name, and tell you a lot about your
How do
history.
you know?
I saw it on down at the paper.
Well, find out, get some information so I'll know what address and all. You would know
What
that.
did I told you what it was. What the day I came back and saw you,
You
said
did.
I saw it
You
on
did,
there.
and I wrote it down.
And
Where'd I put it?
I'll play you a silly game. Where'd you put it?
I don't know. I might come across it.
I gotta go home.
Oh, don't
Don't
go.
go there. You go there when you ain't got nothing else to do. You still got questions
No,
to answer.
but no, my wife don't know where I am.
Where did you go when you headed out?
I carried my little granddaughter to her house.
Oh,
And I'm supposed to carry her over and come back home.
like Linda when she was little. We lived in Highland Park, and little kid was missing for the longest kind of time. I'm looking all over the neighborhood for her.
With big brains and
And turns out she was at my neighbor's mother's house.
about a
And
half
we
a block,
called
a block
her, we
away.
called her Grandma. And finally I found Linda. And I said, Linda, why didn't you tell me where you were going? She said, when I left, I didn't know where I was going.
That's
Made
what she
sense to
said,
me.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way I am, but that doesn't satisfy her. You know. Now my son is over the house
Excuse me, him.
and he's helping Mama paint the living room.
Oh.
So he asked me why I carried the little girl over to their home. And I said, yeah. So when I get ready to go, he said she's got some stuff to carry with her. I said, what? She went there, I think she had 4 teddy bears. And 50 sleeping bags and pillows and I know, so I said,
I swear.
she had a truck full of junk. She was
Yeah.
there, she's about 8 years old. I said, you sleep with all them teddy bears? She said, yeah.
Well, have you seen my kitchen since it was painted white? And my curtains I made from a tablecloth I got
See
at
your blue
a thrift shop.
plates.
And Linda has a sewing machine, so I did it by hand.
Ray is painting the living room today. He's been painted in and painted the foyer and the hall.
At your house.
Ray is my trooper.
Ah, so.
How many kids did you have?
I've got 5.
5.
4 boys and a girl.
You got Raymond. Keep going.
Joyce Ann.
Okay.
Brian. His name is Joseph. Brian.
My sister has a Brian Joseph.
Well,
And,
they're not a coincidence.
let's see. I gotta stop.
You got one
You're
more.
getting to that age, huh?
Got Eugene. How many I got that now?
Who?
How many do I have down now?
That's 4. One more.
Who am I missing?
Raymond Joyce.
I've got a
Joseph Brian.
junior.
A junior?
My oldest boy's a junior.
Ken Jr.?
What? You might want to write their last names of the girls now if they're married.
That's right. Joyce Ann is. Oh, here's a hard
Her
part.
name is Pace, Pace.
Uh huh. Just the one girl, right?
That's the only girl I got.
Yeah.
4 boys.
The boys didn't change their names.
Seal,
They're not the
S-C-A-L?
S-E-A-L.
The guy that prints this stuff here, the paper for me, and that's a Hanover Pair of Progress. And his name is Pace, and they live in Ashland. They're not in Kansas. Those people are.
There's not enough names to go around anymore.
I
Everybody,
know.
everybody thinks they hear Motley. Are you related to Marion Motley at all? I said,
That's
Browns
right.
football player? I don't think so.
Right.
I don't think we are. Might be.
Which way did y'all come down?
Just to Ohio, Pennsylvania Turnpike, and then 95.
Yeah.
270, 95.
Where about why you live?
We're in Cleveland.
Oh, you live in Cleveland?
Yeah. We're still,
You came down where? You came down 79
79, did we?
Yeah.
to Turnpike. You came up to Breezewood.
Yeah.
Breezewood, that's what we're trying to think
of. And if you cut off at Breezewood, and you'd come down, ended up on 17, and come through.
Avoid all that
out at
Washington
Fredericksburg,
traffic.
and then you'd avoid all that Washington traffic.
Well, I told you they didn't give us a map how to get back. We just know how to get here.
Yeah.
So
AAA.
yeah. So we made.
Last time I went to Cleveland, I went 64 west to 81. And I took 81 to and joined 64 again. I took
You see a
64
big cat in there?
64 to Beckley.
That's Willie.
I don't know Rebecca.
And y'all been on the West Virginia Turnpike?
No.
He's a nice cat.
They
Sounds like
have
a lot
one-
of-
They have one in West Virginia.
West Virginia Turnpike? It's
Yeah.
just straight as an arrow on a map. You get on it at Princeton, it goes straight up to Cleveland.
Straight as an arrow, huh?
Straight as
What's
an
it really like?
It's a nice highway.
Is it?
It's a toll road,
Yeah.
but it's a beautiful highway. You get on it at Princeton, West Virginia.
Princeton, West Virginia.
It goes straight as an arrow. It's aimed to Cleveland.
I'll have to look at that.
Last time I went up, I was going to Toronto, and I went to Beckley, and I hit 79 and I come out at Erie, and I went up beside the lake, and I crossed over.
Yeah, the road here wasn't bad except for around Washington. We also hit it at rush hour.
I don't never go through Washington. I'll drive 50 miles to get around Washington to Baltimore.
Yeah.
Anytime I'm going north, I go 64 to 81 go north.
A daughter named Adria,
What chance is it?
Minnie Adrian, her last name was.
Yeah, yeah.
And she had a daughter named Adria. Adrian. And she worked in Washington, D.C. for a senator. And so when I was, I don't know, 10, 12, something like that, my mama went up to visit her in Washington, and we went to the Senate and went all over Washington and saw everything and met all of these people. And I think we went to a big dinner
Oh yeah.
that was for
State
some
dinner.
of the senators and all. And I was all dressed up, and we just thought we were somebody, you know. And then I think later in years she got sick or something. She came and stayed with us for a while. And that's just a slight memory. So much has gone on in all these 67 years. I can't keep it all straight.
Yeah, you can go up 77 or go up 79. I never go through DC.
Bird.
In fact, they keep replacing the bridge at Woodrow Wilson Bridge at Washington. They claim carried it back up to 25 miles up in the afternoon and morning. See, they had so many commuters from Virginia
Right.
all around. It just blocked into DC
Mhm.
to work.
Yeah, we saw the traffic going the other direction. It was horrid. Going coming
Then
out
they
of
got
DC.
the,
I think your kids are right neat.
My kids.
they got the HOV lanes.
I think they were well behaved.
Oh,
What I
my.
think.
You want to be cooped up with them in a van for 9 hours?
Listen, when Linda goes shopping or anywhere with Michelle, she's like this. She talks. Talk. In fact, she and Linda and Clay can hardly ever get a word in because Michelle is always talking. And the other day, Linda was going to go find some clothes for Michelle for back to school or whatever. She was shopping 4 or 5 hours, and Michelle loved it. I just happened to be at the store where they were, and I just stood there, and Michelle didn't know that I was there. And she was helping her mama look at things, and then she looked around, Nemo, and gave me a big hug, and she says, look what we just bought. It was so-and-so, and it was 40% off, and she told me the price, and it said it only came to $5.77. The kid ain't but 6 years old.
Those jeans passed right to her, huh?
So, and then the next day she says, I wish we could go shopping again.
That's it.
You go 79 and go 77. But God and I used to go up that way a lot. We go over Canada, Toronto, or that way. I'd go
Yeah,
up,
you can look at Ohio and see
most of the time I'd go up to
where it comes out of Richmond.
grade 5 on this side of Lake Erie and go up upside Lake Erie to
The bird over
Niagara
there?
Falls and then cross the water of Niagara Falls.
Sometimes I think they can see you. When you moved your hand, it flew away. I don't know if that thing is losing its whatever or what.
No, it's because it's shady out there.
Oh, okay.
At night you can see in real good.
Spike gave me a set of keys. He said, that truck is yours.
Well, his boss was somebody else.
So the next, sometime after I was in the shop and I was kidding with the boys, I said, you know what? I said, I'm mad as a dick. They said, what's the matter? I said, I didn't get no watch or cake. Didn't give me no watch and cake.
Nope.
Right.
That's what they used to give everybody, give them a watch and a cake.
You see his boss advertising their place on
Oh, yeah?
television. He's a really cool dude.
Yeah.
So
Sounds
my
like
wife's got a new Mercury and I got a new pickup.
Well, when Wallace's mama goes, I'm gonna get me a
If I don't ever get home, I ain't gonna have no wife.
white with love.
Mother, you're wait.
His mama's got a white Buick, 95, that hadn't got much mileage on it.
What's yours?
95.
Hers is Park Avenue though. That's loaded.
Well, I was gonna get you a can of paint or something. We can make it white.
I can help you there.
I wish it was red. I wish her car was red. Can we have it painted? Yeah,
What's
I like
the
white.
interior?
I like white.
gray leather. But I love this car. I don't
What
know
makes
if
you
I
think that we're gonna live longer than she is? Just 'cause she's 90.
it don't
Yeah.
sound too good.
Yeah, you're arguing over her belongings.
Listen, there's only
Your
there's
kids are
only,
probably doing the same thing about you guys.
I know it.
there's
That's
only
right.
one,
Linda's
two,
probably
three
saying, "Yeah,
things I want.
my
Her
mama's got a
car
Park Avenue."
and her chandelier that she's got hanging over the kitchen. It's china and got roses and all of it. Came from Germany. And then this great big compote that's got flowers and all came from Germany. It's probably worth about $14,000. She's got 2 of those. That's all I want.
I've already decided. I told that woman to stand with Mama. She could have that.
Sure.
And the car.
She deserves
Yeah, and a car.
She deserves it. She really deserves it. She deserves something. To live with an Alzheimer's patient, that must be rough.
How is it, Wallace? Living with an
It's kinda
Alzheimer's
tough.
patient.
It's kind of tough. She
He's
finally got-
learning. Yeah, Linda gets upset with me because she says, remember it's always her? And I said, no. And I've got to find this. I'm going to have to start taking some Aricep or something. That's what they give Alzheimer's.
Maybe some hay.
Huh?
Some hay.
That doesn't compute.
Hay, Hay, hay.
How does that fit into anything?
Like a horse eats hay,
Yeah.
gets food. Maybe that would help.
You lie.
Alzheimer's is a terrible disease.
It is that.
Yep. So Ronald Reagan is failing pretty
Another
quickly.
one I think is bad is Parkinson's.
Oh, I know it. That would be horrible.
But there's more and more people you find out that they have it or they know someone who's got it. It's Alzheimer's. It really is. And I have, my theory is it costs everybody living longer.
That's
You
right.
know what I think is the most horrible thing in the world? Who is that guy that's in the movie star? Superman?
Yeah, Christopher Reeve.
That can't do nothing. I mean, even if he got tired of living, he can't even kill himself. I mean, that is horrible.
I was watching
he
Janet
talks
Reno
so
last
great.
night.
Oh, Janet!
She's got Parkinson's.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh,
It
yeah.
didn't show her hands, but it showed her. You could see her shoulders moving.
Oh,
Yeah.
But you couldn't see her hand. But I've seen her hands, and she'd be holding the
Yeah.
paper and the thing that's going on.
Hmm.
But
I wish you'd get around Clinton's neck and go like that.
sometimes, I don't know when it was.
Another year, that's all you got. Another year.
A year or so ago, I decided to look up some of my old buddies from my neighborhood. And I looked at the boy that lived in the same house the Motley lived in after they left. And I went to his house, and he was in the wall, and he was in that Atco, and he was shot down and was jailed pregnant for 3 years.
Here's the female
So when
version.
I went over, I finally found his house, went up back to the house, and I opened the door, and he looked at me kind of funny. He went, "What are you doing over here?" I asked him, I said, "You know who I am?" He said, "No." I told him. He said, "Come on in." What I was going to tell you, but when I went in, his wife got Alzheimer's disease. And it was a pitiful thing, I tell you. I didn't stay too long. And now so I went to see, I looked up his brother, went to his house, found him, went in, and his wife was sitting in there on the couch with an oxygen machine that's out of the tubes in her nose. So I said, I ain't looking at nobody else.
Yeah, that, my mama had that. She had emphysema.
Well, did she smoke? She didn't smoke, did she?
Oh no, she'd had pneumonia or something when she was young.
Discouraging.
And I guess it must have hurt her lungs or something, and she just developed emphysema. And she had the oxygen tank. And
Cecil didn't smoke, did he?
She was out of breath.
Cecil did smoke.
Yeah, smoke.
Huh?
Yeah, he
Oh,
smoked.
Cecil
I
did.
was thinking Cecil didn't smoke. I don't know how I got there.
You did.
I smoked when I was in
Bless you.
hospital,
Excuse me.
and I gave it up.
Bless you.
And I've been
My mom
glad ever since.
quit when she had a double bypass, and they didn't allow smoking in the recovery room, strangely enough. So
Who did?
my mother,
Your
and
mom?
she quit pretty quickly.
I quit when I was after I come out of the hospital, and I quit cold turkey. And I've been proud of that. I'm
So
telling
my
you.
dad smoked, and he only ate was meat and potatoes. Huh? I wonder what caused a heart attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he
Did he have, I sort of say inspections. Did he have physicals very often or any? No. So he was headed that way and wouldn't have even known it, I guess.
Right. He couldn't build it up.
Hey,
he
Kyle,
went.
what are you watching in there, baby? What are you watching in there?
I remember my dad was one that was going to cancel the wedding if he had to have a blood test,
Yeah.
because he did not like needles,
Oh.
and he passed that on to me.
So,
This
we
is-
got a bigger picture.
We probably have, but it's tucked away in one of these closets.
Your grandmother's name was Annabelle?
I know we got a big, I blew that picture up, I know, larger.
Oh, this is the foot she wrote, the choice she lost?
We would visit from door to door. You didn't have no car.
Right.
If you had a car, you know, one of the old timey jobs.
So your mother and my grandfather were friendly, I take
Yeah,
it.
they were close.
Yeah.
That's when they called him brother. My mother and the rest of them, that's what they called him brother.
No one called him Beverly. Huh?
Sometimes, no, I think most of them, when they call him by name, they call him Davis.
Yeah, that's right. They,
Well, I mean, Beverly Even in those days, it
This
was
is
not a
Vir- this
very
is
manly
Virginia.
name.
No, that's right.
It's Virginia.
It is, most women have that name. Don't they?
Yeah.
I wonder where he got it.
That
I don't know, but I know that
be interesting to know stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, his mother, in other words, find out something about her.
when I was in high school, the principal was named Beverly. I remember that.
I'd like to know where, you know, where his mother is buried, you know. Then I have to go look at it and get a picture of the tombstone.
I don't know. I'd like to know where they came from. I've never have been try to research that into the family back from Hannibal. I think Hannibal and
Who?
the Motley probably came from the same area. And where was it?
Probably, yeah.
Pennsylvania.
I only have about 20 more boxes like this. Come here.
Kyle?
Come here, baby.
Oh, that's right. I'm back now to the end of the street.
That's a lovely shot.
the old-
Now,
So this is Clara and who else?
I don't have any food for
my cousin Lucy on the left,
Cousin
Claire in
Lucy.
the middle, and me on the right.
That's disgusting.
All right, we'll leave these out.
Well, just leave it out, and I'll blow it up, in fact, along with a few.
Disgusting.
Will we go outside?
That's a long
Oh,
time
yeah.
ago.
Is it?
I'm glad you did.
There's difference between Ellis and Cecil. And when Ellis
10
Cecil